If you've ever looked at your body and felt confused by what you see, this video is for you, especially if the change happened during or after a relationship where you didn't feel free to be yourself. Many women enter relationships feeling strong, confident, social, and active, and then slowly their world becomes smaller. You stop seeing friends. You stop doing the things you love. You stop feeling like yourself. Not because you chose that, but because the relationship made those things feel criticized, controlled, or emotionally unsafe. Isolation in abusive or narcissistic relationships doesn't usually happen all at once. It happens quietly. Little by little, your life shrinks, and eventually, the only place that feels available is home. When that happens, something important is lost. Connection, joy, pleasure. So it makes sense that food can become one of the few remaining sources of comfort. Not because of weakness, not because of lack of discipline, but because everything else that once brought happiness has been taken away or made unsafe. Food doesn't judge. Food doesn't criticize. Food doesn't withdraw affection. In that context, turning to food makes sense. And then something else happens. You start looking at yourself in the mirror and you don't recognize the person looking back. Your body feels unfamiliar, heavier, different from the woman you remember being. So slowly, you stop wanting to be seen. You don't want to go out. You don't want people looking at you. You don't want comments, questions, or comparisons. Even going to the gym, something that once felt normal or empowering, can become overwhelming. Mirrors everywhere. Your reflection from every angle. You look at yourself and think, who is that? That's not me. So even when you want to train, even when you want to get back to yourself, your body reacts with anxiety. Not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because it's painful to be confronted with a version of yourself you never chose. So you stay home more, you move less. And that wasn't a failure. It was another way of coping. At the same time, your body is changing internally. Living under long-term emotional stress keeps the nervous system in survival mode. Always alert, always braced, always adapting. This is where cortisol comes in. Cortisol is often called the stress hormone, but it's really a survival hormone. It helps your body respond to threat. It helps mobilize energy. It helps you get through difficult situations. In short bursts, this is helpful. But when stress becomes constant, the system doesn't switch off. Research shows that chronic stress is associated with changes in how the body stores fat. Over time, more fat tends to be stored around the middle of the body, the stomach, the waist, and the back. This isn't random. These areas are more sensitive to stress hormones like cortisol and sit closer to vital organs. Under prolonged stress, the body prioritizes energy storage and protection, not to punish you, but to cope. At the same time, muscle building becomes less of a priority. So many women notice that areas like the glutes lose tone or shape, while the middle of the body feels softer or heavier. It can feel like everything has shifted forward. Not because your body betrayed you, but because survival came before aesthetics. Now here's the part that confuses so many women. At some point, you finally leave. You find the strength to look after yourself again. You start eating better. You make yourself go to the gym. You try to get your life back. You're doing the things you're supposed to do. And instead of feeling better, you feel heavier. Sometimes the scale goes up. Sometimes your body looks worse in the mirror, and you think, why is this still happening? Why isn't anything working anymore? That moment can feel hopeless. This is why going back to the gym can feel overwhelming. Why training the way you used to doesn't work anymore. Why pushing harder often makes things worse. The system is still protecting. So when you diet harder or train more intensely too soon, your body can read that as more stress. And instead of letting go of weight, it holds on tighter. Not to sabotage you, but because it still believes it needs to keep you safe. This is why high-intensity workouts can increase anxiety. Why gyms can feel unbearable. Why pushing through often leads to exhaustion, injury, or more frustration. The system isn't resisting you, it's overloaded. Healing doesn't start with punishment, it starts with regulation. Lowering total stress load, rebuilding safety, choosing training that supports instead of drains. Strength training, when reintroduced gently and intelligently, is incredibly powerful. It helps rebuild muscle, it supports metabolism, and just as importantly, it helps rebuild trust in your body. But intensity has to match where your nervous system is now, because capacity was reduced by stress, not permanently, temporarily. Weight gain during chronic stress is not a personal failure. It's not a lack of willpower. It's a predictable response to isolation, control, and prolonged emotional pressure. And predictable responses can change. If you recognize yourself in this story, there is nothing wrong with you. You didn't lose control. You were surviving when your world became very small. Your body kept you going when joy was limited and options were few. And that deserves compassion. There is life after survival. There is strength after control. And there is a way back to a body that feels like home again, not by fighting it, but by working with it. One regulated step at a time.